Welcome to podcast 43. Yes, 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 maybe, but yes.
Ayo.
What's going on, guys? It is episode 10 of podcast 43. And
double digits.
That's right. And today we're talking about another recent release this week for our featured film. It is Sofia Coppola's new film, On the Rocks, which just came out to everyone on Apple TV Plus. So yeah, but we'll get into that later. How you doing, Folden? How you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing fine. I can't really complain. It's been a little busy, but I haven't been able to watch as many movies this week as compared to my tumultuous watching last week. But I can't complain. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I think that I watched today was a disappointing week for films because of a certain movie, which we'll get into.
I think I know what the one that you're talking about.
But other than that, I am looking forward to this discussion because we have quite a few overlapping films that we watched this week together.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I think this might be the episode with the most times that, besides our feature film, that we've kind of overlapped in this way.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, then let's go ahead and hop into the films that we watched over the past week that we kind of wanted to talk about. I'll let you start with your movies, and whenever a movie comes up that me and you talked about, I'll jump in.
All right. Well, the best thing that I watched this week that I hadn't seen before was definitely Wes Anderson's Rushmore, which I never saw before, and I don't even like Wes Anderson too much. Like I don't. I mean, I think you know, but
I know.
But I really appreciated. I really appreciated this one because it felt like more of a regular movie and not like this obsession with like dollhouse symmetrical aesthetics and whatnot. So and I thought it was just a really funny movie. I think that Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson did a great job writing these characters, and like the friendship between Bill Murray's character and Jason Schwartzman's character was just kind of like, it was so unconventional but so lovely. Yeah, and then the soundtrack I've just been listening to this whole week because it's just a bunch of great British Invasion music, like the Kinks and the Who and some other more lesser known bands. But yeah, just I don't know, great high school coming of age movie, and I picked up the Blu-ray on the Criterion sale this week actually. So.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first couple films I got on the Criterion. I think I own all of his films on the Criterion Collection except Grand Budapest Hotel. Because when I first started collecting, I wanted to get all of his stuff, and that was a few years back. That one was one of my favorite. It was like that and Bottle Rocket were one of my favorites. I mean, I do still really like Fantastic Mr. Fox. But I've never been able to. I'm not going to go too far into his filmography, but I do. I love that one, and I love Bill Murray, man. He does kind of have a character that he plays, but he plays it so damn well that I haven't really gotten tired of it yet.
We'll definitely be talking about that later. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I watched a couple Godards this week. I watched Contempt with Brigitte Bardot, which and Vivre sa vie, which I don't know. A lot of people really like Contempt because it's kind of it's a film within a film about that's super meta about like, Fritz Lang, the director, is directing a adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey, and like it's about like a writer and his wife, and like kind of the squabbles that they're having about it, and it's kind of the use of like over sentimental music. And I don't know, I just wasn't totally sold on it. I know some people would even go as far to say it's like one of the best films ever made, but I don't know. I think it was like Godard making a the most conventional movie he could make, with kind of self-insert characters playing him and Anna Karina and stuff.
It sounds
and I don't
interesting, but
I'd check it out. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. I just don't like his movies for the reason why, or I don't like the way that he did that. I think that Vivre sa vie was a lot better because it's just kind of was one of his earlier movies, made only a year before, where Anna Karina is like becomes like a prostitute, and it's like a 12 chapter thing, and it's quite short but quite sweet, and it's quite tragic. But yeah, it's I'm excited to I'm close to getting done with his new wave period stuff.
Is it like
I think
13 films or something?
I want to say, yeah, like 13. I mean, he was quite prolific. He would make like 3 films a year. And then then on top, I mean, like, I think Weekend is the next one. No, well, out of the new wave ones, Weekend is probably the one that I'm the most interested in, because it's like,
I really like
it's
Weekend.
pretty much. You've seen Weekend?
Yeah, I have the Criterion collection.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty it breaks. I mean, you know, I've heard that it's kind of the film that bookends his new wave period.
It's the last one, yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely goes all out, and definitely in style too. I was confused, but very, very, very intrigued at the same time. So
it's got Jean-Pierre Léaud in it too. I love Jean-Pierre Léaud. So he also did I also found out this week that he did a Rolling Stones documentary called Sympathy for the Devil in '68 that I've heard is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Do they have that on the Criterion as well, or am I thinking of a different Doors documentary?
You're thinking of probably Gimme Shelter.
Yeah, Jesus.
The Doors.
What I say? I'm sorry, I meant to say Rolling Stone. Damn, I keep thinking of the Gimme Shelter cover, and then I keep thinking of for some reason
Oliver Stone's The Doors cover. Yeah. Speaking of which, we should do an Oliver Stone movie. I would love to. I want to
do Bush.
To talk about.
Or W.
Oh, yeah, dude, I do W.
That'd be pretty funny.
But yeah, I'll let you talk about what you watched as well, because we do have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I really only got into other movies besides On the Rocks, and one of them was a recommendation from you, and it was Daisies. So we'll go ahead and talk about that one.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I just background audience. I watched this. I don't know, it must have been Wednesday night, or no, Tuesday night. It's
pretty early in the week, I want to say.
Yeah. And I just like texted Fulton about it, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like you got to check this out. It's this movie from the '60s, this Czechoslovakian new wave thing called Daisies." Just the weirdest thing I ever saw, and so I just wanted to get Fulton's reaction on this, and I haven't talked to him about it since, so I want to hear.
So at first I thought it was going to be a movie about war, just because like the way the opening was, and I wouldn't necessarily it's a film about war, but I'd say it's more of a film about rebellion. This is just like my general reading of it, and I did a little bit of reading because I kind of wanted to like figure it out, right? And at first I thought that first I'm just gonna say spoilers, but it's not really a spoiler. It's just a scene that I wanted to talk about within the film. There's the first scene where the sister with the dark hair, you know, she goes out to dates with older men or something. Yeah, okay. So it's that first dinner scene, and it's shot pretty conventionally. So I thought it was going to be like, I thought it was going to be taking a turn towards the more conventional side, and I was definitely very wrong about it turning into a conventional movie. Not that I really wanted it to, but just because I was interested to see in like what path it was going to take, because it was starting to kind of develop on its story. I think it's a pretty interesting film. I really like the ending. There's some stuff in it that I still don't understand completely, and I think that's just because you have to I didn't understand really what they were trying to do until the very end. Which is, you know, shame on me, but it's my first time watching it, so I think it could be complemented by a second rewatch to kind of pick up on everything that the film was trying to say.
It's almost like it was actually banned in the Czechoslovakia at first. I can
imagine it being very different. Given it's what year was 66? Yeah, I can imagine it being pretty shocking to any audience of that time, although it's not really that. I mean, but you know, we're looking at it from our time now. It doesn't really seem so bad.
It's just so what I enjoyed were they took inspiration. The director, her name was Vera Chititilova. I think I probably butchered that.
Don't worry, but I've butchered names on here before, so.
But yeah, I mean, yeah,
you're all good.
But
you didn't say two.
That's true. I think I got the Vera part right. But the way that there's clearly an inspiration from, like, I don't know, like the silent comedies of the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah, I definitely felt that, especially when they're like giddy and they're like dancing and kind of jumping from scene to scene in some instances.
They definitely sped up the frame speed to do that. And I don't know, I just appreciated that kind of like little nod to that of Keaton and Lloyd and Chaplin. But on top of that, I really did find that, like that ending is quite impactful. The intersplicing of, like, I don't know, it's definitely inspired by Soviet montage, with like the way that they cut together all that stuff of like the explosions and stuff. And it's definitely I would say definitely a feminist film too. Would you agree?
Sure,
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if it. Oh, sorry. I had an alarm. Yeah, no, it's I'm trying to remember if our film teacher ever talked about it, but because he said he took a course in feminist films. But I remember him specifically talking about another film, but I just can't remember the name of it for some reason.
Are you talking about the one where they have the mannequin or whatever, and they get up the mannequin?
They like all kill their husbands, and then they're all put on trial. I just don't remember what I always wanted to see it, but I'll look it up one day and see if
she told us the name.
Yeah. Well, besides Daisies, I say I recommend Daisies. Should say that too. Yeah,
I'd recommend it too. And it's only like 76 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not that bad. Well, I think I don't even know if people are excited to hear, but um, we might as well talk about it because I feel like I do have a good bit to say about this film.
Yeah.
Borat, subsequent movie film.
Ugh. What a horrid, one of the worst things I've seen this year. In all
Yeah,
honesty, yeah,
it's sad to say
I
too.
was, but it's like I don't know what I don't know. I guess maybe our expectations were, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for me, but maybe our
Hmm.
expectations were too high as they were, because it's like, well, what do you expect the direction for the film to go necessarily? And then like,
Hmm.
and the credits after I watched it, they were like 11 writers. They
Yeah, it was
really,
insane.
yeah, they really crapped this thing out like just as soon as
Well, I
possible.
mean, I feel like my guess is that they started filming it and then Corona hit, and then they were like, "Oh, how can we work this into the script?" And like the thing about the film to me is I feel like there's a lot of funny ideas. They're just not
Mhm.
executed in a good way at all. Like as dumb as the ending is, which I don't know, should I say?
Uh,
Well, we'll talk about the film before I get into spoilers. So I'll save that kind of talking point for a little bit. Um,
yeah.
so I wrote on Letterbox, and I think that was kind of the best way that I could like wrap up my feelings, is that it just feels tired. Like this doesn't really feel like it. Um, and I hate being so harsh on a film, especially from a creator that I like. Like I like Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he's like pretty funny. I love Who Is America. Ali G, I think is funny. Like I like a good bit of his work, and his narrative stuff I've never really felt really clicked. Um,
Yeah.
in this
Definitely
film
works best as
is
a
like
surprise.
yeah, it's like 70% written, and all
Yeah.
those scenes they just hurt. Like like I don't know, like they just kind of drag on. But I say that, and then I also understand that this I wasn't expecting him to do the exact same thing as Borat. I was expecting him to kind of go back to his roots and maybe do like a loose narrative thing, and
Like
kind of
Bruno, kind of. Yeah.
and showcase what America is currently like. Um and I mean, I don't have an issue with the film being political. I think it just really benefits if it's done well. And
Oh,
in this case, I mean, yeah.
anyone that's ragging on Borat too for being political and then
Hmm.
saying like, why can't it be like the first movie, like, which I've seen some people say, they literally did not watch Borat 1 like at all. Like it's such a blatant critique of like the of
American
Bush era
society.
of yeah, of America and like Bush era policies and stuff. Like I
Hmm.
just don't know how you couldn't see that. So like, yeah, it's not that that's the issue. I just think that the jokes aren't really
Well, they're just so
funny. I think
surface like to me they were so surface
it
level.
was like something that I'd see on, SNL, or if I tuned into, the
Hmm.
latest episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert,
Hmm.
which which isn't that's not what I expect from him. My standards are
Yeah.
high, and yeah, the scripted parts definitely took it down a lot. I didn't really care too much about the story, and it just felt like they had to put as much topical stuff in it as possible, and it
Hmm.
like kind of reminded me like of a South Park episode, which
Hmm.
they make the week
Weekly.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, this is a movie and this is going to be outdated, and who knows, I mean, it could literally be outdated by November 3rd. Like
Yeah. I
I
mean, I gotta give him props for I- for at least saying go vote. I stand by that.
Yeah, of course,
But
everybody go vote, of course.
I just don't. It almost feels like someone told Sasha and crew, um, "Hey, man, we really need we need you to write a paper or do some homework to show how bad like this Trump era of politics has been. So, can you turn that in really quickly? And it just kind of feels like, hey, look how bad this guy is, and
It's
that's
like,
it.
wow.
It doesn't say really. I don't know. I didn't grasp any greater meaning behind it.
That bit at CPAC was pretty fun, though. I will say, I did like the part where he went to CPAC and he dressed up as Trump, and
Oh
then
yeah.
he broke in and
See, I think a lot of I thought the pranks were fine. Like, I thought they were somewhat funny. They were the better part of the film to me. Um, and again, I just hate to rag on the things that were done differently from the first one than praise what they did that was also on the first one, if that makes sense. Because I get it. Like, as a creator, you don't want to just do the same thing again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it I don't know. I don't know. It's just really disappointing.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is, but we can.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
I
on
just have
top,
one more thing to say about it, but continue.
yeah,
I'm
of
sorry.
course, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, it's just too bad that I was kind of when all this stuff was coming out about like various pranks that he was doing, I kind of at least thought that it was going to be more Who Is America, which I think I would have preferred.
I think you need to
than
see
Borat.
it, because that was going to be my next talking point, is that, and I wrote this in my letterbox review, so you may have kind of already read my thoughts about that one, but I really liked Who's America. I just rewatched part of it like a week or two ago, and I think it just does what Borat 2 was trying to do, but so much better. And it's not Borat. Like, I honestly feel like this film didn't even need to be Borat. Like, there was really no greater reason for him to be Borat, and like, honestly, he's barely in it. Like, I feel like so much of the screen time is taken on his daughter.
Which I think really hurts the film too.
I mean, 100. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, and she's not. I wouldn't necessarily say she's a bad actor. I just don't think her scenes are very funny, because they also feel super scripted. Like, even the pranks, you can tell that they're really trying to elicit one kind of key word or phrase out of them. Like, during the the scenes with his daughter, they're like, okay, well, we have to show like what the female perspective is in America, which is fine, but it just doesn't feel real or authentic. Especially when it feels like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel random, I guess. And that was kind of the charm that Bruno and Borat had when dealing with like real life people. It felt authentic, and and I can tell that what they have, like, these people in the sequel, they're random people, but it still feels like they told them to kind of say one thing. I guess they all feel one note.
Because people know who Borat is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when he dresses up in the disguises and stuff, yeah, it's a little bit different. But like, I was kind of skeptical about like those guys, those like more rural country guys.
Yeah, that didn't feel it.
That didn't feel real at all.
Yeah, it just
yeah.
And I think the concept is so funny. And then I heard the story, like, oh, he had to stay in character for 5 days, and it's like, really? I mean, didn't like, I don't know. But if it's true, cool, fine. Why didn't it feel real? But I don't know. But maybe it's already because I don't know. And then the other thing, wearing the bulletproof vest, I'm assuming it was at that conservative rally where he sung the Obama song.
Oh yeah.
But oh yeah, what I was gonna say about Who Is America is that if you want to see Sacha Baron Cohen like kind of dig into the extremes of America's political side, I would definitely say check out Who is America. I think he did it way, like, so much better. I don't really know what happened, why he wasn't able to pull off Borat 2 after doing something like Who is America, but
because those were both made during the Trump administration.
yeah,
you
like
know?
he kind of digs at both sides of the political extremes. With this one, I felt like he kind of went more into the right side, which is fine. Again,
it's just be funny. Like that's
yeah.
all I ask. Like,
Yeah,
don't just
that's really it. Yeah,
don't just retread SNL jokes and
yeah.
talk about how Trump is orange. Like that's kind of tired.
That's
at
what it
this
felt
point.
like. The film just felt tired to me. That's really all I have to. That's really all I have to say, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's the best I could put it.
Well, on that, I will just talk about briefly the most recent thing that I watched, which was Michael Bay's Armageddon.
Yes.
What a great picture. I couldn't recommend it enough. If you toss this on with the boys, drink a few beers, you just it's 2.5. It's 2.5 hours, but it deserves to be that long. And it just comes back around from being, so stupid that it's incredible. Like you just want to see various cities in the US and other countries just get leveled to the fucking ground because of a meteor. This is your film. Dialogue is incredible. There's this one part where they find out that the asteroid's going to destroy Earth in 18 days. Which the fact that there would be no way that the Earth would be gone. On top of that, I watched this with my friend that is studying physics and astrology. No, astronomy. Sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. But
how dare you?
But he was just watching it with him and hearing how criticizing all the details of how it doesn't make any sense and stuff was really entertaining. Because on top of that, I bought the Criterion DVD, of course, because it was $5. But on the special features on it, which I was reading about, there's a commentary with a NASA supervisor that.
Now, why would they?
That made sure that
why would they put that? Criterion knew what they were doing, man.
For real.
Yeah.
But so the commentary, that's the commentary that I'll listen to. I mean, I bet the Michael Bay, Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, and Jerry Bruckheimer commentaries is great too. But just hearing a scientist talk about each of the
fact checking
intricacies like that, it sounds great. That was what sold me, honestly. Oh, and the music video for "Don't Want to Miss a Thing" by Aerosmith, feature on the DVD with band member interviews. So,
aren't they gonna re-release it with the Adam Ruins Everything commentary track?
Actually,
this one.
It's actually Adam Ruins Everything and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And they're kissing. Yeah. We're getting we're amping up our sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's just a make out track.
Yeah.
That's not scientific. Oh yeah.
and I'll say it. I think Michael Bay, he's an auteur, definitely. And I think if you want the best insight of what he loves and what he likes to make, then watch Armageddon.
Yeah.
Transformers are fun to watch with people. They're really ridiculous. There's still the hyper patriotic aspect, but I think that the hyper nationalist patriotism, which is just so over the top and so ridiculous, is best displayed in Armageddon, where swear to God, there were probably American flag shots in like at least 25% of the frames, and that's being generous.
Perfect. Do you have any other films that you watched that you kind of wanted to touch on?
No, I mean, not really. I could talk about how I didn't really like American Graffiti too much, but yeah.
If you want to, we can. I've seen
All
that
right.
movie.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
want to?
I didn't really like it too much. I was like, okay, why is this 2 hours? I just thought I wanted more to be there. I don't know. I just thought it was okay. What about you?
I've only seen the film once, and it was a few years back, but I really, really enjoyed it. I kind of I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I kind of put it up on that level. I mean, I like it. I know you really like Dazed and Confused. I do
I do.
like American Graffiti a little bit more than Dazed and Confused, but to me, it's just one of those hangout films.
Oh
Where you're
yeah,
just kind of
same.
hanging out with these characters for 2.5 hours or 1.5 hours, and I put Fast Times at Ridgemont High up there too, which I just bought the Blu-ray actually. Just thought I'd tell you.
Let's
Found it,
go.
yeah,
I've converted a new one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put it up there. I really like the main character, although I'm forgetting his name. But I do plan on rewatching it because I want to watch the sequel, which I've heard varying things on. But I just couldn't remember anyone's name or face when I started the sequel. So I was like, ooh, I need to
Yeah, retread.
I need to rewatch it. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I just that movie has a lot going for me, right? I love that time period. I love the feel and aesthetic of the film, and I'm gonna say it. I don't, and it, I don't know if George Lucas is a great filmmaker. Um, I think he's got a lot of really cool ideas, and like, because when I look at his filmography, have you seen THX 1138?
No, but I saw like a little excerpt from it, but I did notice something cool in this film. There's actually a good cool reference to THX 1138. It's the plate number of somebody in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to. I'll look out for that when I rewatch it. Yeah, THX I think is a cool movie. I think the idea is cool. I just don't know how much I really like the film. And then the first Star Wars film I think is again a cool idea. But I just don't really ever feel like rewatching it. Like if I'm gonna.
It's like okay. You can admit that you hate it because it killed cinema, as we know, as it killed the new Hollywood movement.
I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's a very good laying the ground type situation where it sets up a universe.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
I just think it's all right. I don't really like rewatching it though. So where was I going? Oh yeah, American Graffiti I actually like out of those, although I don't know if it's necessarily a very well made, if it's very well directed, but regardless, I still really liked it. That could change in the future, so I never know.
It was more like I like those characters, I guess, to a point, and then I just kind of got tired of. I don't know. I felt like there was kind of some variance in like the ones that I liked and the stories that I like because it's all separated. With these characters. Where something like Dazed and Confused, I think is a lot stronger, and I think I enjoy it a lot more. And I think that could also speak to my biases of liking the 70s a lot more as an era and just like the music in the film.
Yeah.
In that film because like I don't know. I mean like the late 60s are cool and all, but I don't know, early 60s, I don't know, that something about it. I mean, the cars are cool. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just thought I didn't care a lot at the end, and I just didn't know what to necessarily think. I thought that scene at the end where he goes to the radio station with what's his name, Wolfhound. That was a good scene. I felt some parallels to Hubie Halloween, in fact, at that scene.
Not what I was expecting.
When Hubie goes to the radio station and he finally gets to see who was the DJ, and it was Shaq.
No, I really need to see Hubie Halloween.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, we can get into the film news if you want to.
For sure.
So we have a good bit to talk about. First of all, I don't know how much of this you want to talk about, since there is a good bit, but I'll just kind of rattle them off, and if we think we need to talk about it, we can. First of all, I'd like to say, let's go. Jared Leto is gonna be in the Snyder Cut.
I know, I heard.
Yeah.
Did you see those shirts that he was selling? Or you can buy them still, and it's a Justice League Snyder Cut shirt, and then it says on the back associate producer or something.
Are you for real?
I'm not kidding. Zack Snyder is selling them.
You buy the shirt and you get to be an associate producer?
No, it's supposed to be like, you wear the shirt because you helped get the Snyder Cut made.
Like a Patreon deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. I don't have too much to say to that than other than it only makes me a little bit more excited. I was already excited, just to see what happens with it. But Tom Holland is set photos came out of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, so that film, the Uncharted film, is moving right along, which I honestly had totally forgotten about until they released the photos.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I'm looking him up right now.
Yeah, I think he fits, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, he's wearing the right thing, but I don't know if
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more of along the lines of it's always interesting to see with video game films if they'll do good or if they'll just give into the legacy of video game films. So,
usually the latter.
Yeah, unfortunately, but maybe I don't know. I still need to see the Assassin's Creed movie, although I've heard it's all right. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brad Pitt are working on a movie called Bullet Train, I believe. Just thought it would be Bullet Train. Yeah, it's an action film. I just thought it'd be worth mentioning. I like both those actors.
Bullet Train, that's cool.
Tim Burton is planning an Addams Family TV series from the perspective, I should say, of Valentine. Is that the daughter?
Wednesday's the daughter. I don't know.
My bad.
I'm not too well versed in Addams Family lore.
Dude, come on. I told you to be ready.
Sorry, I didn't have time. I was too busy.
Too busy watching Armageddon when you could have been reading up on Addams Family. Shame. I don't have too much to say on that, really. I don't know. David Gordon Green is working on a Smokey and the Bandit TV show. I love David Gordon Green, so I don't really know anything about Smokey and the Bandit, but I'll probably check it out if he's directing any of it, depending on kind of what network it goes to.
No Burt Reynolds. Not interested.
Well, they're gonna
I
CGI him.
Oh, cool. I'm so
Yeah.
happy I'm so happy that the legacy of Burt Reynolds still lives on.
No, I'm just kidding. That would be pretty. That would be really weird. David Gordon Green, I don't think he would kind of.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely not.
he
I mean,
he,
I
he wouldn't
like
do that.
I do like David Gordon Green. I
Yeah,
just
he's one of my favorite. I don't think we've ever talked about him on the podcast before. He's one of my favorite directors.
but I like they made quite a few Smokey and the Bandit. They made 2 sequels, and I think Burt Reynolds was not in the third one. It was just Jackie Gleason. And then they made Bandit. They made like a TV like spinoff films, which also didn't have
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds in it. We got Bandit Goes Country, Bandit, Beauty and the Bandit,
of course,
Bandit Silver Angel.
Oh boy. Well, you were way more versed in Smokey and the Bandit than I was anticipating.
Oh, I love Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, I
think
gotta
it's
watch it now.
It's a lovely road trip film. It's especially coming from the South. I feel like you have to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll watch them. Next thing,
just the first one. Just the first one.
Okay. Just to clarify, this I didn't know they were making. I haven't seen the other 2, but I know they are kind of live on in pop culture. Legally Blonde 3 is coming out in 2022. So
that's rad.
That's happening.
Yeah.
And we also got another win. The boys got another win this week. Fast and the Furious is not ending at the 10th movie like you would think. They are actually doing 11 movies now. And Justin Lin, I believe, is going to direct the last, I guess, the rest of the franchise.
Bringing him back, baby.
Yeah. I want to, yeah, Justin Lin, he's coming back and finishing off the franchise. So, and people are talking about space, and I must say that definitely intrigues me. It's been a long-running joke or rumor within the Fast and Furious franchise. So let's see,
Well, he's back. He came back for Fast and Furious 9, which I'm still so mad that I was deprived of that this summer. But
it was really the cruelest robbery. Cruelest film robbery of the year.
It was gonna be so great, Bolton. We were gonna go see it together. And
it breaks my heart. It's gonna be all the guys, the Hobbs and Shaw crew. Oh man.
But that's all right. We'll have it. We'll have this May to look forward to.
Very true. Very true. Jake Gyllenhaal and Denis Villeneuve are teaming up for a show called The Sun. So I like that pairing. I'm excited. We'll see.
We shall see.
Barry Jenkins, the Underground Railroad teaser released, and it seems that film is or not film, that miniseries is done, or at least in post-production, getting close to being done.
Barry Jenkins is directing it or producing it?
I believe he directed it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like either 8 or 16 episodes. Yeah. It's going to Amazon Prime. Okay.
He wrote this. No, wait. The Underground Railroad. Yeah, directed, wrote, produced. Okay. I see you, Barry.
Yeah.
I thought you were just. I thought it was just. I thought it was just Lion King. That's it.
So let's hope that maybe that project swindles him away from Lion King too, as one would hope. But the next piece of news, there's a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film me and Chris briefly talked about this before the show was starting. Not before this, before we started to record the show. It looks like they're trying to take the Halloween approach and do like a direct sequel and kind of ignore all the other sequels, which I think is a shame because Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is
lovely. Yeah,
it's a good film. It's a good time. This one comes out next year, I think, or they're working on it. It either comes out next year or they're working on it.
Yeah, I think
this is news to me though.
I don't know what. I mean, I'll probably see it, but
it is next year. Okay.
They've made, they made that one in 2017 that I just didn't even go see.
They made one in 2017.
It was called Leatherface. Not to be confused with. Oh wait, no, there never was a one that was just called Leatherface. Or no, there was Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and then this is just Leatherface.
All these horror franchises I really want to work my way through, but there's so many of them. I've heard the bulk of the films in the franchise are bad, but
there was I know the remake does have some fans, but I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen the 3D one. It was really bad.
Yeah, that one's came out in 2013.
That's not the remake that you're talking about, right?
No, the remake that I'm talking about came out in the 2000s, and it had Jessica Biel in it, and then they made a prequel to that one. And then they made the 2013 one, and then they made this Leatherface one that came, the most recent one, which apparently they filmed and then they shelved it for a year, and then they just dumped it on video on demand.
Ooh, yeah. I do have a quick question for you. I don't know how versed you are in the Halloween franchise. Have you seen the 2 Rob Zombie remakes, or however you want to call them?
I think I watched a little bit of the first one, but I kind of want to check them out.
Yeah, same here.
But I haven't seen them yet. I actually was talking about them with some friends of mine a few days ago, and they said that the Rob Zombie making of Halloween documentary, it's on YouTube. Actually, it's 4.5 hours long, and they said
Holy
it's
hell.
one of the most comprehensive making of documentaries they've ever seen, of just every meticulous detail of what they did each day, and then just brief tangents about various things. So if you want to know every single thing that went into making Rob Zombie's Halloween, then that's the film for you.
Okay. What did they talk about the movies? Did they give their opinion on the movies at all?
They seem to be kind of mixed on them. They honestly enjoyed the making of documentary
more. It was a hard kind of situation.
Well, more it's almost like a comedic. It's a good comedic bit, almost the fact that there's this much information about something that not a lot of people care about.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I'll give our last little piece of news. Disney's Raya and the Last Dragon trailer dropped. I think it's Disney Animation. I don't think it's Pixar. Yeah, just thought I should.
Yeah,
put that in there too. So, yeah, I didn't watch it either. But for those that are interested, just thought I'd put that in there. And we can take a quick ad break, really quick. And we're back. This is actually a week later. We totally forgot to finish the rest of the podcast. That's kind of on us. So won't let that happen again. But
Yes, sir.
actually a month later, I'm now checking the time. Oops. How we have done that, I don't know. But we'll move on right ahead with our feature film. And Chris, I'll let you announce a feature film.
Okay. Yeah, we watched On the Rocks, which is Sofia Coppola's new movie with Bill Murray and Rashida Jones, and a little minor part with Marlon Wayans, which was nice to see.
It was yeah, I agree. I wasn't expecting him, but I was glad that he was there. Ironically.
Yeah. He's nice to see him not do something just completely not just do like a dumb comedic role. But what did you think of On the Rocks, Fulton?
So I guess a little bit of background, and the only other Sofia Coppola film that I think I've seen, I own somewhere, I just haven't seen it. I've seen Virgin Suicides, and I really like that movie. And so for this one, I don't think the film is amazing, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very little elegantly made film, and there was a word that I kept thinking of when I was watching it, but I don't remember the word. But yeah, I don't think the film is trying to say. I think it's a rather simple film, but I think it's just kind of a peaceful film, even with all the kind of crazier things that it kind of gets into. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's definitely trying to say something. I think it's more so
I mean, it is trying to comment on, I mean, obviously relationships between fathers and daughters, but also society's views on women and men.
Yeah, definitely. And the dynamic between Murray and Jones, as far as he's giving her all this advice about your husband's probably cheating on you. And it's but you have to take a step back. When you take a step back and you're like, why should she listen to him? He was the one that, cheated on her mom and stuff. And he's not kind of a reliable one when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
But she just kind of gets swept into that whole thing. But yeah, I found the movie, as someone that is I've watched all of Coppola's films, and I liked it, but I found it to be a little too light. I wanted her to go into a more heavier direction, because her remake of The Beguiled, the Don Siegel,
I still need to see that.
Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a great film. Kind of with the most of her movies, I would say probably at least Virgin Suicides, The Beguiled, and Marie Antoinette, and I don't know about The Bling Ring. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Oh, I have seen The Bling Ring. Oh wow, I totally forgot about that movie. Yeah, it was okay.
It's just a lot of her movies have a lot to do with the status of women, the where women fit into things, and how they should almost rise above their oppressors, I guess. And this kind of has the subtle undertones, but just The Beguiled was just such a beautiful movie, and it's just such a great slow burn with all this tension. And it's now for her to go back to it's just kind of a fun comedy drama is it's cool, but you're capable of so much more. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my expectations were different from yours, because you have seen more of her work than me. Yeah, I didn't. By the way, I didn't mean to say that the film wasn't trying to say too much. That wasn't what I meant to say. But um, I kind of it has in correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like it had I think there's few directors that can paint kind of New York as kind of like a dreamy little like nice city. Because I've been to New York a ton, and it's not as pretty as the film kind of makes it out to be. And the film isn't about New York at all, but a lot of it is set in it, and I really like the way they kind of captured the city.
Oh,
I've
definitely.
always really appreciated when directors are kind of able to capture New York like that. Because I think New York can be kind of like a really pretty place, but also super like gross and kind of not shaming anyone from New York. No city is perfect. But with any major city, not just with New York, anywhere, you have the really pretty side and you have the really like unkept and kind of and nasty side. Like
Just watch any movie that's set in New York in like the
the
70s,
70s,
and
yeah.
you'll understand what one's talking
Yeah.
about.
So it's like I've always thought that dynamic in New York is really interesting, and just with like any major city. But I don't want to get too caught up in that. But so I always kind of have to. I always really appreciate that because it kind of makes my heart a little warm
Yeah.
seeing New York painted like that. And I've never really known why, but so I really like that. And there was something else I was gonna say. But it feels like an indie movie. Like it just feels like a small scale drama, and I feel like I just kind of appreciated it for being what it was, if
Well,
that makes sense.
it's an indie movie in the sense that A24 produced it, but
Yeah.
in the same way, Apple was the one that distributed it.
Yeah.
So they're $1 trillion company, but it does have the indie, it does have the twee and the kind of the indie feel though.
Yeah, like I know it's not really an indie film, but it had that small scale drama feel to me that I feel like I haven't felt that in quite some time. I can't even and I'm sure I probably have watched a movie that has felt like that. It's just that's just not coming to my mind as of right now, but the film felt a little refreshing to me, and I enjoyed it for that reason. And like I think the acting all around is like really good, and and yeah, I don't know. I just and it was simple, and I enjoyed it. And I think if you want to look into it more, you definitely can. There's a lot of things that the characters say that can kind of be further interpreted, right? And I do see what you say by wanting to go into it more, because I think the film definitely has the potential to go in that route, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that it could have gone. I do appreciate some of the directions that she took, like especially with like the ending is like, it's almost like kind of, I don't know, it's like it's a relief, and it's kind of comforting that like she doesn't have to worry about the same problems that were plagued by her parents' marriage and stuff, and it's like she's lucky for that. But like I just felt like it was just almost too small scale. And it's like for her to go from, even, I don't know, like I think that like Lost in Translation, I think is one of the best films of the 2000s. And I think also like with the way that it portrays isolation and stuff in such like a subtle way. And
This film made
like,
me really want to see that, because I really like the pairing of Coppola and Murray. I think it works. They complement each other well.
Watch her Netflix thing. I mean, I guess it's a film technically, but it's like the the very Murray Christmas, where
I might
Bill
save
Murray.
it for
Yeah,
like
save it
December.
for
Yeah,
Christmas. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
But for sure.
If you want to see, you'll get your Chris Rock fix in that one.
Yes.
With Bill Murray singing a duet with him. So,
yeah, it's yeah. Ultimately, it might be because me and you have seen different strides of her filmmaking. You've seen more of it. But I've like her film. I mean, honestly, dude, I really just want to dive head full into her and her father's work.
definitely.
Like, so I want to do it so bad, but I'm a little bit busy with school right now. But
yeah, that's not an excuse. That
yeah. But Thanksgiving break's coming up soon. I just got done with like my essays for one class, so I'm starting the other class. So, I should probably be. It should probably be easing up on me soon. But
yeah,
sorry.
I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. I would say that The Bling Ring is probably her weakest film in my opinion, because also on top of it being kind of the plot is it's kind of thin.
Yeah,
it's kind of
for sure.
bland. It's one of those movies that I think was inspired by an article that somebody wrote, which can go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, Dog Day Afternoon was written about an article as well, or was based off of an article.
I liked Bling Ring, but dude, it's been probably 5 years since I've seen it. I bought the DVD. This was back when I used to buy DVDs, and I didn't buy Blu-rays. I was against Blu-ray for some reason.
You were against HD.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get it. I was like, I'm getting the same product. It's just cheaper. And then I started to actually use Blu-rays, and I noticed the quality difference. But yeah, that was one of the first. I remember very vividly going to GameStop or Movie Stop after I got off school, and I asked my mom if she would get it for me. Yeah, really, really R.I.P. That place was amazing. Until they kind of started to sell out and became a Think Geek, but they have to change. I get it to keep up with everything else. But yeah, that was and so I watched it in middle school. I think it's been such a long time.
I probably saw it 5 years ago, but what I don't like about The Bling Ring is that Coppola shoots.
There's not enough bling.
There isn't enough bling. I don't know about The Ring, but
The Ring. I don't know about the either. It's awfully suspicious.
But she also like shot that movie on digital, and that's like the only movie that she shot on digital, and everything else she shot on film. Like this movie is clearly on film, and
it looks so good.
It looks good.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the film cinematography. It's amazing. Like I said, it captures New York in a very pretty way. And
it reminded me of Woody Allen's A Rainy Day in New York, which the one that the Timothy Chalamet, Selena Gomez.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about. But he's got so many films with New York in the title that I kind of just like, I don't even, have I ever seen a Woody Allen movie? Sorry, you
never seen Annie Hall?
Mm-mm.
Or yeah, but that A Rainy Day in New York, it kind of reminded me of this, but this movie's good actually. But it like had like kind of the same, the modern take on New York with the nice cinematography, and then kind of like the jazz score. I was kind of like, I don't know, it was fun. Honestly, like probably my favorite part was and it just shows like, I think Murray does like a great job in this. He's just like so good at being like this kind of smooth talking person that he kind of is in a lot of movies. Like he's when he plays in Ghostbusters, Bill Murray is similarly kind of this suave dude. But that part where they go in the car and is like
it's shutting down as they ride.
Yeah, it's shutting down as they ride, and then he kind of gets pulled over by that cop, and he just kind of like
Swindles
wiggles
his
his
way.
way. He wiggles his way out of the situation by just like forming a connection with the cops like father and how he knows him, and it's just like it looks beautiful. It's shot like I love the red of the car and stuff, and I just
It's
think that the
perfect.
dialogue's really funny. Like I couldn't imagine anyone else delivering it other than Bill Murray.
I over this year has taught me to I just have been having a growing appreciation for Bill Murray. You know, when I went through the Ghostbusters films like a few episodes back, and it, yeah, I don't know why I didn't really like. I have seen him in all of Wes Anderson's stuff, and I always really liked him. But I've been really enjoying all his performances that I've been seeing him in. And this film I thought was very. I thought he's just really funny, like especially like with the kid actors, and he's putting his feet in their face and telling them to smell his feet, and he's like, "Yeah, it's gross, isn't it?"
Let's have. He's like, do you want to like? He just seems like an awesome granddad to have, you know, just like.
Even though he's, you know, he's got the issues that he got some issues he's working through, but you know, regardless, he seems like he just has such a loving presence on film, and it always feels genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though he's making, you know, remarks and being snippy, you know, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Rashida Jones is very good too. I feel like we haven't really talked about her too much. But what were you gonna say? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, Rashida Jones is always in pretty much everything she's in. She's always like the straight woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
for sure.
She does it well, and I think that like similarly, like it's like these two people that are kind of cast in their own lanes of like what they do well in movies. Rashida Jones as this straight woman character, and then Bill Murray as the playboy hotshot type
granddad.
In
the playboy granddad.
It's well, in a lot of, I would say Murray is more dynamic than Jones, though. But
yeah, I think his character has more to chew on. I think to kind of play around with. And but the thing I think that's interesting about Rashida Jones is while she is the straight character in the movie, she does kind of get swept up in Murray's plots. Even though she tends to fight it a lot and question it a lot, I don't know. I just love those moments where they're sitting and talking, and they both try to. I'd say Rashida's character more often than not, she tries to come to an understanding of her father, and I think she
ends up giving in, like always. Yeah. Like it's like literally like it's her birthday, and it's like, all right, you're gonna get dressed. You're going out for your birthday. I'm taking you out. And she's like, all right, I need a babysitter. Like I can't do that. And he's like, I'm not taking that as an answer. Like, and then just sure enough, moment. Like he's able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would say that it doesn't really, there's really no parts that it really kind of drags or anything. I don't like, I don't think that there's anything that I
didn't feel that
this kind of went on for too long.
Yeah.
It's just kind of wrapped up nice. And I think we should, if we can, we should probably get into spoiler territory.
Okay.
But like I also liked at the end how it wasn't like, obviously like Marlon Wayans' character was mad. Yeah. But like it wasn't like the end of the end. It was like they were still happy, and like it was more just like kind of an issue of like neglect and like, oh, I don't know how to communicate. And like it was just nice to see that it didn't go that route.
And then same thing with the father. They both know that they kind of have their issues, but and Murray more than Rashida's character. And I do like that moment where he's like, all right, come on, let's go. We're going on a cruise. She's like, you know, I can't, but I love you. And
Yeah,
I'll see you when you get back. Yeah, and I think it's a very sweet little moment. And
like her
yeah,
overcoming that, like not getting kind of walked over him, but still being able to like she said, like if you wanted to just spend time with me, you could have just told me. Like we didn't have to
yeah.
do this whole elaborate
So
caper.
that's what I felt. I was like, regardless of whether or not the boyfriend is cheating or not boyfriend,
Husband.
husband. Um, I felt like it was just a general. He just kind of used it to be with her, and that's why I could never really completely be mad at Murray's character. I never found myself frustrated um with him or her really, because I think that they just kind of wanted to be around each other again.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And it's
yeah.
like well, it shows that like when she meets with when she goes to her mother's,
Hmm.
she's talking to, I wanted to say that that was her sister. Was that Zoe Kravitz's character? That was supposed to be her sister, right?
Um, man, that's a good point. I I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember who she was, if they said that she was or not. I was confused. I thought that scene was a little funny because they were
Yeah.
all kind of like, I was like, girl, you need to, you know,
You need it.
they're like, you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to. She's like, and really what they're doing is they're just making it harder on her to kind of think straight, even though that might not be their intention, but it's the result of what they did.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
but
But
obviously Murray is the ultimate pusher behind that. But you know,
I guess my point was that like it's more like their reaction to like her talking about them, and it's like
mm,
kind of like shows that like she's like one of the few people that still like does things with him and stuff like
mm,
um yeah, so like yeah, I guess he that's his like way of showing that like he wants to hold on to that, or
mm,
just still have her as a daughter that like still like wants to do things with him
yeah,
and stuff. So
mm-hmm.
yeah. um but yeah, how are we looking on time? My laptop's about to die.
Oh yeah, we're at 112, so we can kind. I don't really have anything else
Yeah,
that I really want to add to it. If you're ready to call it,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm done. I think that's all I have to say. I think
yeah,
I think it's good. It's one of the best films I've seen of this year.
mm-hmm. Me too.
Even which isn't
Saying
saying a
much,
lot, but
yeah,
yeah, it's good. Yeah,
yeah,
and I'd say Apple's putting out another thing that justifies that they gave me a 1 year free trial
yeah,
when I bought my phone. And even though this is like the third time that I've used it, like I've used it for the fourth time. I used it for that Beastie Boys thing, and I used it
Same
for
here.
that Boys State documentary that A24 put out, and
I
then now
want to
this,
see
and then I
that.
used it for that. I watched a little bit of that show about like LGBT characters in television. That was pretty good.
I watched
But
Mythic Quest, the Tom Hanks movie Greyhound,
oh
this, and the
yeah.
Beastie Boys movie.
uh
And I think that's it.
well, yeah, just they've been adding stuff more and more, and I think they extended my free trial to February, so I don't
Oh,
know.
nice.
Yeah, so
I hope they did that to
wait,
me. I'm not sure.
I think they did it to everyone, so you
Oh,
should
cool.
you should get it. And that
It'd be nice
I
if they
do
just
want to
gave me a
watch
lifetime.
that
Why
Bruce.
not?
What?
They just gave me a lifetime subscription for free. That'd be nice.
And maybe they'll finally, maybe by the time 20 years from now, we'll have another three things to watch on
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain about my phone. It's not the play.
Yeah.
um,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, then I do want to watch that Springsteen documentary. They put that out this week
It
too.
does look.
So
I heard the album's good.
yeah, me too.
Hmm.
Me too. I've heard that.
All right.
Good
Well,
old Bruce. All right.
yeah, we can
I,
wrap it up.
Well, Fulton, it is
Mhm.
your week to pick the movie, and what movie are we watching next week?
Next week we are going to be covering A Field in England. So me and Chris are going
Directed.
in, yeah, by Ben Wheatley. Me and
Yeah.
Chris are going in blind, so
Yeah. Well, I'll
we shall see.
probably be watching that his Rebecca remake this week too, if I can get around to it.
Didn't he do Free Fire?
Yeah, that's the only Wheatley film I've seen is Free
Okay.
Fire. Which when I was like, when I saw it in theaters, I thought it was so cool. I bet it's like pretty lame, honestly. I don't know. Maybe it's probably fine. But
I thought
I
it
bought
was.
the Blu-ray.
I did buy the Blu-ray too. I thought it was all right. He's got an interest. Yeah, Field in England. Free Fire, Rebecca. He's doing Tomb Raider 2, and then he's doing Meg 2 as well.
The Meg?
Mm-hmm. Called The
Wow.
Trench. So
yeah, that High Rise movie, heard was all right. It's pretty cool.
I always wanted to see that
Interesting
one.
commentary. But yeah, so Ben Wheatley's A Field in England is the film next week from 2013. So I hope y'all have a good week. And stay wavy.
All right. Goodbye.